One of the most common misconceptions about tech sales is that you need a technical background to be successful. During my sales tenure across many different large and small tech companies, I can confidently say that most sales reps at tech companies do not actually have a technical background. That's not to say that sales reps are not technically savvy, but they learn those skills on the job, and a non-technical background did not hold them back. I've seen people with history teaching degrees become extremely successful selling cloud technology, as well as former food truck owners sell machine learning and artificial intelligence for credit underwriting to major banks. My own background is in biomedical engineering, but my entire plan was to go into medicine, not technology. Let's hear from Ross and Christine about their backgrounds and how they found themselves in tech sales.
I don't think anybody grows up saying, I want to go into sales. Sales is a dirty word to a lot of people. And for me, the way I fell into sales was I got a business development role, and I didn't know what that meant. I got a role at Oracle, which, big Warriors fan, was like, oh, I get to work for Oracle. They're the ones who have Oracle Arena. I didn't really know what Oracle did or does. I think a lot of people still don't know what Oracle does. It's basically all the IT software and hardware piping that exists behind a lot of the major systems in the world. Top 10 banks, top 10 airlines, all government systems, all run on Oracle. Which, when you think about that, that's pretty cool. That's pretty powerful stuff. But walking into that role, I had no idea that as a business development rep, I would be cold calling most of the day, or cold emailing, or trying to set appointments, meetings, qualify opportunities for my account executive. That was day one. We were doing some role plays, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm in sales now. And obviously part of it was the salary. You can make six figures really early in your career, and that's a draw to a lot of people. And I also didn't have a ton of hard skills. I wasn't a coder, so the technical side was definitely not possible for me. But as a former athlete, it's about drawing from things you've done in the past. Maybe it's a little entrepreneurial endeavor you have. Maybe you used to burn CDs back in the day and sell those to folks at school. Maybe you ran a lemonade stand. Maybe you managed something in your frat or sorority. There's a lot of different things that are very transferable. Being in sales is you're basically managing a small business. You're managing your little book of business. And so anywhere you can pull from the small things you've done here and there in life, again, it's all about telling that story. It's all about framing things around process, about how the way you think strategically about solving problems, and kind of packaging that all together around, again, your why, your motivation. A ton of different types of people can be successful in sales. I think the common misconception is that every salesperson is an extrovert. Absolutely not true. In fact, most of the best salespeople are introverts. They're very empathetic. They are very self-aware. I think self-awareness is a really important piece, or having a high EQ. Recognizing what somebody else is feeling and putting yourself in their shoes and knowing how would you react so that as someone who is on the other side, you can cater to those needs. I think that is honestly the most important attribute is empathy.
Yeah, what made me unsure jumping into sales initially was just not having a lot of examples out there where there's like female sales leaders or female sales reps who are doing really well. But huge surprise to me that there's just a lot of people who look like me, have the same journey, and it just makes me really hopeful that this role is becoming way more popular. I heard about sales and knew that it was a potential career path for me when I moved back to the Bay Area after school. You just couldn't avoid tech. I was a starving intern at a theater, and I just saw all my friends. I actually started dating someone, and literally all his friends and his family were in sales. And I thought, software? Wow, that's cool. Tech, ding, that's a cool buzzword these days. And it just fascinated me thinking that you can get into tech and not have any technical skills. So you could have people skills, more of those soft skills, and majoring in theater, I thought that makes a lot of sense. I'd love to get into this. What piqued my interest when people told me about sales is that you can make a lot of money if you do well, obviously. Learning software is not that difficult either. Even when I interviewed at companies, I saw it as like, hey, I'm coming in here, I want to learn about this product. This is better than business school. I really just want to get in the weeds of learning the ins and outs of your business. Working in sales is really a great way to just jump in and understand the ins and outs of a company and how to run a business. You interact with every function of a company, whether that's ops, that's the executives, the customers especially. So it's a really great way to just dive in.
If you're looking for more resources for getting into tech sales, check out bravado.co. Here you'll find job placement opportunities with exciting companies that we personally vet, articles, guides, videos, our blog, which has a ton of helpful content for getting started in sales, and the War Room, a sales-focused forum where you can network with other high-performing sales professionals. Bravado.co. Join the community.